All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ubuntu channel. This is Trending Stories, or simply put, a program that comes your way every Saturdays, where we get to give you nothing but the very best of programs, where we get to bring you different stories.
Globally, 85% of infertility is because of infections, typically the chlamydia and the gonorrhea.
Your time is up. Thank you so much.
Okay, since I've been mentioned, I can react to what comment Chinda just
Yes.
said.
I haven't finished my point.
Remember,
No, let me finish my point so that my brother can.
Does the Patriotic Front know the kind of damage they have done to our economy and to our country? I do not.
The alleged abduction of Pamela Kisupa, and this case has really kept us on our toes. And in as much as
nobody has been acquitted from this new dawn administration cases that have been started. There's nobody that has been acquitted. Okay.
CJ, foreplay. I'm not talking about jump and begin acting like a kangaroo. No, foreplay. Many of us as Africans, we lack this virtue. This is not there.
Yeah, the time twaje ku Malabo. What's the first game twale tena wa Senegal. I think very sana underrated, because even the home up, you can see the way they are doing home up. Bare munagati bora na wawina kale nyoko.
I think it's actually good if you start creating competition in the team. If you don't create competition, then you will have a problem who to replace when one is injured.
I think the names people have been calling me, I accepted them and I welcomed them. But what I would prefer being called as a nickname, I would prefer being called Sambalung.
Ubuntu is a tradition that man, or indeed a human being, is born in. Naturally, we are born with Ubuntu. We live with it. We come into this world with that.
Ubuntu ninshila iyo abantu basenderamo ifyo umuntu afwiri okuba nefyo afwiri okukita nefyo afwiri okwikaliramo Ubuntu.
Ubuntu chitemiko, Ubuntu mutende.
Ubuntu kukhala pamoja. Ubuntu
Good evening. Welcome to Ubuntu channel's stories of the week, stories that are making headlines in the week. And the program is called Point of View, where you get to actually add your voice to the stories that have been making headlines. My name is Chaza, right here to be with you on the program. And I'll be joined by, my colleagues right here that, will be adding their voices to the stories that we have. And my co-host actually happens to be Lance right here. It's a Saturday evening, just like any other Saturday. I must believe that you're having a nice time in the new year. I can see a pretty lady coming, on set right about now. Himba, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Chaza, and good evening, viewers. Happy New Year once more. Chaza, I last saw you last year. How has been your New Year?
So far, so good. Having lots of promises, but the dark side of it so far is, the load shedding, which has been so perpetual so far. But everything else is bright apart from, that dark side. How's, 2023 so far?
So far, so good. Looking promising, and waiting to see the great things which has come with 2023. Talking about the road shading, Shaza, we'll cross the bridge. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. Whenever you're going through a challenge in life, the way we are going through this challenge of road shading as Zambian people, we should bear in our minds that there are greater things coming after this. Over to you.
Certainly, we do hope so, and I feel for my brothers and sisters that are solely depending on electricity for their business. That barber man there, not forgetting the hairdresser, the salons, the welders, and so on and so forth. It's really, a sad thing, and indeed, we hope that we'll come out of, this calamity, I would call it.
I totally agree with you, Chaza, and I only hope the authorities are going to look into a way of questioning our brothers and sisters who are running small businesses, the saloon, those who are working in the bars, because even in the bar, we've got young people who are working there, and they get a living from there. And if there's no electricity, we're out of balance. So I'm hopefully that maybe, there's a loss. They've gone through a loss. Think of a young person who is selling, like, let me give a practical example, like Kwa Robert Kuchilenje. So there's a lot of loss, and such people are going to be affected. So I only hope the government will look into how they would question such people, how they would question especially these small businesses, especially the young people and those who are just starting. Babi Kama Capital, that loan is gone. How are they going to pay back? Bamawales and Dama CDF, they'll be expected to pay it back. How are they going to pay it back with the loss they are going through? Apart from that, even the households, they need to go for work. It's expensive. And every day, it's really expensive. And even how do people prepare for work? 12 hours is just not a good thing on the Zambian people.
Exactly, you've put it right. I can't put it any better. I can see Lance so far is struggling with connectivity, but we shall proceed. He'll join us as we go. At this point in time, Director, you may take us to the story of, the week which comes first. Probably my director is also having, some technical challenge as we do get to wait, for them. Let's get to reminisce Himba 2022. How has it been? What are some of the lessons that, you've gotten and you would not want to repeat, in the new year 2023? And what are some of the things that you feel were so great in 2022?
In each and every year has a new year, and we always start a year at a certain point, and it comes with a lot of expectations. And for me, I take every year to be a new blessing in my life. And one thing I've also learned is that whatever comes your way, there's always another side of the story. A lot of things happened in the past year. There were good things politically, physically, on personal lives, and in the family a lot of things, but believe me, I learned a lot of things. I also learned good and bad things at the same time. And I've also learned that whatever you go through in life, whether good or bad, there's a lesson you're learning from there. And you should be able to learn something, whether negative or positive. And when you're going through a negative situation or a challenging situation, always know that the God we worship has given you the strength to fight it, and you should not give up. I was so happy with a lot of young people who were recruited into new employments and appointment. However, it was so sad, and it was so sad that we lost a lot of lives. A lot of young people were lost because of, let me not say a lot, a number of young people committed suicide because of lack of hope and encouragement. That all I would say is, for me, that was a lesson that the thing, to me, I'll say, inch to mile, or I can get another job. But for somebody, that is so valid such that they can even take their life away. So that was a lesson I learned. And I also learned that the past is gone. And I have no control about the past, but I have control about the future. So we should always look forward to the positive things. So I'm looking forward to the positive things which 2023 has come with. What about you, Chaza?
You know, my 2022 has been most of it a learning curve. You know, everything that I have, you know, done at a minimal level, I could look at it and see that if I had put more effort, I think, you know, it could have been better. It could have produced a better yield. So I think for me, 2023 is a year that, you know, will be full of, you know, working smart and also working hard, because I learned that, you know, working smart produces, you know, usually better than working hard. But when you combine them, I think the resultant is actually, you know, good enough. So everything, you know, you think about a bit of, you know, investment. You saved 1,000 kwacha and it has realized maybe 300 kwacha, then you say, this year I can do better, you know. Instead of 1,000 kwacha, if I double it up, even the profits or the interest will actually double up. So I think it's time to up everything, you know, in 2023 as for me on a personal level, you know. All right, Lance, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Chaza. Good evening to the viewers, as well as good evening to you, Himba.
We have seen how much you have struggled, you know, with connectivity there, and probably resorting to just the audio is a means of survival.
I'm telling you, we have to survive through the load. We have load shedding as well as internet shedding, if I can call it that way. But however, we still strive to make sure that we are available for the people and provide or give to them a program which is supposed to be given to them, and also offer a better solution or maybe an analysis to what has been going on throughout the week. And looking forward to a very good deliberation, looking at the stories that we have for this particular evening.
Beautiful. Let's see now if you know, the director can take us to the first story of the week, and we do make headways.
When you call them, even we say they can choose wherever you want to go. What kind of a means like that?
Yango to do whatever they want.
We don't want Yango.
Yango to do whatever you want.
We don't want the driver that is the answer. There's no association, but we are the drivers claiming. Association, but these are the drivers. They want the foot soldiers.
How are we going to feed our family?
We are the foot soldiers. We are the ones talking.
We didn't up. Is that
it's not fair for sure. The answer is that
But today, you're saying that there's money for us to go there.
Yes.
Where should we go as drivers? That's the question we are asking.
Yes.
Where?
Yes.
He hasn't attended any issue.
Commotion characterized what was meant to resolve the protest of low prices by younger online taxi drivers. After a long period of knocking at the door of the Ministry of Transport, calling for it to come to their aid and address some of the challenges alleged they were facing, among them low prices, security, while citing taxi-hailing online company Service Yango being a major culprit. Online Taxi Drivers Association of Zambia were assured by the Minister of Transport and Logistics, Frank Tayali, that a legal framework was being worked on to bring sanity in the online taxi service. Speaking when he addressed Online Taxi Drivers Association of Zambia and other stakeholders in the transport sector, the minister advised against the issue of being personal when addressing sensitive issues.
So what my ministry committed, my ministry shall do. That legislative framework, that statutory instrument that is supposed to regulate everybody, bring about a level playing field, that we are going to do.
The minister also indicated the benefit of fair prices to commuters.
Important that as Zambians, let us not use emotion, because emotion will not take us anywhere. And this advice goes especially to Otas, who at one point even went to write to His Excellency the President, alleging that perhaps this minister may have an interest in Yango. And that letter was brought back to my minister. And everybody was saying, but minister, are you not going to respond to this? I said, I do not respond to rumors and innuendo. It was not worth responding, because that's not what we are here for. We are here to impartially look at our country and how best we can save our fellow citizens, especially the common citizen, who today is saying it has now become affordable to jump on a taxi.
And Yango.
There we have it. You know, the taxis, you know, the drivers, you know, were having tempers flaring high there, you know, due to Yango prices and the like. So they were actually protesting. Let's get to have, you know, Kimba as the first one to react to that story.
Thank you so much, Chaza. To be honest with you, Chaza, personally, I really don't know where the problem is, because the problem, I'm trying to figure out what would lead into even that protest, because the Yango, I'm not going to talk about I'm going to talk about the ordinary Zambian. The ordinary Zambian, Yango, for me, it's the best thing that has happened. One, if you use Yango, there's security. Even for women now, you're at least protected. If anything happens to me, nikamaenda kuma Yango offices, they'll be able to trace this driver. Ukasiya motoka, now I'm even advertising for Yango. They'll be able to trace, my life is secured, and there's even dignity. And it is also nice that you are even seeing women actually now, a lot of women, to join Yango, ukwensha ama taxi. So if they are complaining that ama prices yaba low, because again, I had an opportunity to talk to some of the few drivers awa ku Yango. They were saying, actually, if you want to make money as a driver ku Yango, you should have a target. And they haven't given my bonus. That if you nyamula my clients up to 20, there's an extra fee they give you if you carry client up to such a point. You know, there's that kind of thing. And even the drivers themselves, they are protected if they move with the way they are working with Yango. So where the problem problem, why they are protesting, I don't know. And this is also something which is still new. In most countries, that's the way the taxis are operating. So where is the problem? Maybe I should also learn where the problem is. Because personally, Yango is a good thing that has happened to our country. It has more advantages than disadvantages for me. So I don't know, maybe I need to understand and how many people are demonstrating there. I rest my case.
All right, Himba, thank you so much. Let's get to listen to, Lance, what he has to say about, this issue, the drivers and the minister there addressing them. Lance, what's your take about, this story?
Thank you so much, Chaza, and hopefully you together with the viewers are able to hear me, because internet is really doing me bad. But however, let me continue with my submission. First of all, these younger drivers, I don't know the reason why they are busy complaining about the fares that Yango charges, when in the first place they are the ones that applied to Yango so that they can join the Yango drivers application. Okay, Yango did not go to them, or Yango did not apply with them to say, we want you to come to the Yango application and everything. It's them that applied with Yango. So why are they busy complaining about something which they themselves applied to? That's a first question that I mostly ask myself when I see such kind of a protest. Then secondly, I don't know why.
They can leave if they are not happy.
Sorry, Himba.
I'm just adding to what you're saying. They can also leave if they are not happy and start operating on their own.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm sorry, Himba. I can't get you clearly because my internet is breaking. You are breaking. The only thing I got from you was Yango and unhappy. So I can't maybe comment on what you've said, but maybe in continuing with my submission. So like that's the first question that I have. And then the second thing is that, for me, I would speak on my own behalf to say, like, I've used Yango, or I've been using Yango for quite a long of time, and I've been conversating with these Yango drivers. Most of them, the response that I get from them is a very positive response, where others are telling me, they've bought plots through Yango, they are building through Yango, they've bought new cars, or they've bought vehicles of their own through Yango. So I tend to wonder why we have a certain faction of drivers that, for now, I would say, allege to be Yango drivers and complain of the services or of the low taxes or of the low charges that come through with Yango. I tend to wonder if other people are okay with Yango, they are building, they are buying new cars, and they are doing whatever development project that they're doing through Yango. Why do we have a number of drivers that are coming out to say Yango is not good, Yango this and that? How is that an issue? And coming back to the minister's remarks, the minister clearly states, or clearly had put it to say, as a ministry or as government, because we know that government's role is to look at the plight of a general citizen. Yes, business is there, but you also have to look at a general citizen. Uja muntu akutanjere kwea sevenza eve per day atenga 50 kwacha. Mulija 50 kwacha afunkalanganilamo transport, afunkalanganilamo kuendo gula malaiti, alanganilapo kulipira nyumba na mwana wa school muri yo per day. Afunkapangaija budget, and the government has to cushion that. How do they cushion that? It's through these business partners that come through, like Yango and Orlando. I will not talk much about Orlando because it's Yango which is in the clip, to come and partner with government and say tizachita vaso or tizapasa ma services. Yeah, so then only those that are interested can join and register with who? With Yango. So I don't know where these guys are getting all these complaints, or why these people are always complaining and are always busy going to the minister and complaining and raising all these things when some of their fellow drivers are building and progressing. I have no idea why. Like that's my submission.
All right, thank you so much, Lance. We do appreciate. For me, I think I get to presume that protest was a mixture of Yango drivers and mainly those that are not even Yango drivers. Because they are comparing charges, and they are saying charges by Yango are too low. So those that are not with Yango probably are saying the business has been killed. For us, we cannot have business because Yango is dominant in the business as for now, and competition is a good thing after all. So I think there isn't a problem. We need to allow competition, and if we can have competition, just like Zesco, if Zesco can have a competitor, then we can move and be safe. Load shedding will be over. All right, let's get to move to the next story. This is Ubuntu channel, and you are watching stories of the week point of view.
The 2022-2023 farming season. The 2022-2023 farming season has been the topic of debate as farmers under the Farmer Input Support Program FISIP in many parts of the country are yet to receive the inputs in full, despite the farming season having fully commenced. Farmers in Kapirimposhi district of Central Province say while they have received seed and compound D fertilizer, many cooperatives are yet to receive urea fertilizer in full, stating that this has destabilized their farming. The farmers who gathered at one of the farming depots in Kapirimposhi Tuesday morning have aired their grievances. Others have expressed concern about the weight of the farming inputs they have received so far, stating that these need to be weighed in the presence of all concerned parties as they seem to be underweight.
Fertilizers underweight. Once I engage by DC, Basa Pima, weighing 36, 34 kg, 37, 39. So even when you go and check, like to just go and take a sample, you find that they are underweight. They are not 50 kg. So I don't know how we can be helped on that issue.
The current administration has come under pressure for the late delivery of farming inputs, despite promises to do better than the former ruling Patriotic Front Party, whom they condemned for the late delivery of the inputs. For now, we will continue observing how matters will unfold as the farmers have demanded an address from the Ministry of Agriculture on how it plans to handle the current situation. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
There we have it. The reporter towards the end of the report, said something, interesting. And he said we'll be watching, we'll be observing to see how, things unfold, because the promises that, were done by the ruling party in opposition then are not into fruition. Let's get to react to this story. Lance, what's your take, as regards this story?
Thank you so much, Chaza. Uh, this issue of farming input has been an issue not only for this current regime, but even for the past successive governments that have come to rule Mother Zambia. For me, I think my comment will be very short and easy. The best way that we can do, let's not only leave things to the government. I think it's high time that we look at this issue of distribution of fertilizer, not only it to be left with politicians to do the distribution, but I think it's high time that most of us Zambians get involved in the distribution of this fertilizer. My call only to government is that just the way we decentralized the issue of CDF, let's also decentralize the issue of distribution of farming inputs. Maybe, just maybe then will we see not the late delivery of these farming inputs. I submit.
All right, thank you so much, Himba. Let's get to hear your submission as regards, this story for inputs.
Thank you so much, Chaza. And personally, I'm going to start from the point where you said the way the summary was given by this brilliant journalist. I like it. It was actually a fantastic summary. Why do I say I like it? She says we are going to observe. We are going to monitor. I think those are beautiful words. And if all the media houses and journalists would take these issues of national interest personal, it would be nice and it will add value to the development of Mother Zambia. If you look at this issue of farming input, it's one of that's our backbone of our economy. And if the politicians promise anything in line with such, can they be accountable? Can the journalists follow? Can the media houses follow? What has happened? I think this is where we are lacking as African, where we don't put our politician into accountable. I was watching a comment one day where this comedian who was saying, if you want to be rich and to have a good job, which you don't use your job where you'll be paid, just go in parliament and say here. You only work during campaigns where you're going to, or you do lie to them. After lying, you can forget, because we don't take these leaders into to be accountable for the promises they give. But then coming to the issue of fertilizer, I think for me, I was a bit grieved because it was even politicized when this is a source of livelihood for the majority Zambians. This is where our staple food comes from, but people were politicizing it. And instead of us coming together as Zambians and say, okay, fine, we've got this challenge. How are we going to handle it? How are we going to make sure that our farmers, they've got their farming input on time or in time? But what did we do? We started to politicizing the issue, which was really, for me, that was a sad situation. I hope going forward, as Zambian people, we are going to change our attitude towards the issues that affect us as a nation. I submit, Chaza.
All right, thank you. I do welcome, on set CJ, that's Chibonta Jule. Good evening, CJ, and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Chaza. Thank you. Good evening, Himba and Lance. Good evening, viewers.
Beautiful. It's good to have you. And your quick reaction to the story that we have at hand.
Well, the fertilizer issue has been quite a thorn over the last should be 3 or 4 months, and we've had different assertions and different stories going around. My opinion is that, okay, there seems to be an operational problem within the same distribution, because quite all right, the president made pronouncements and their wish is that farmers should receive these inputs on time. But we've seen that those policies have been put in place, but the actual delivery has delayed. we got of we've heard of instances that in the previous regime there were a number of things that were going on, okay, and when the new regime came in, they wanted to clean up the system. There was a committee, a parliamentary committee that was looking into some of these things, and some of the findings that they were finding were that there were some deliveries that were said were made, but in actual fact, when you look at the documentation, things seem to have happened, but when they went on the ground, things were not happening. So, trying to align everything, clean up the system, and ensure that things are operationalized seems to have been a challenge for the current system. So I would say we are hoping that since they've hit the ground running, they've faced these challenges head on, they are more wiser and they'll be able to do a better job in the coming season. I would say we can give them a benefit of the doubt because this is the first farming season that they're handling. But in the next farming season, I think we won't take any excuses. We hope they've learned the ropes and everything will be done properly. That's my submission. Thank you.
All right, thank you, CJ. And just like the reporter of this story that we have been looking at, presently, we are saying we are watching, we are observing, and we shall see as we get to the next farming season. For now, let's progress to the next story. Probably connectivity or something like that. As we get to wait, I've seen Himba, you were smiling.
The 2022-2023 farming season has been the topic of debate as farmers under the Farmer Input Support Program FISIP.
It was on the 4th of January 2023 when traders of Lusaka City Market were evicted from trading at Terrazzo area in the market. Traders raised their concerns over the eviction, stating that no proper reason was stated for the eviction. However, the Lusaka City Council's Public Relations Manager Chola Mwamba has told Movie TV News that indeed an eviction of the traders from Terrazzo area was issued on the 3rd of January 2023, lamenting that the area is no longer a trading site but a waiting area where residents can sit and eat from.
The traders that you found operating from the Terrazzo, those traders were allocated by the local authority to trade from the Terrazzo when there was inferno at the city market. We thought that was the best measure to allow people to continue trading, so we had to relocate some of the affected traders to the Terrazzo area. The Terrazzo area is meant for clients that are going to the market to buy and not for trading. And at this point, now that we have refurbished the city market, we have given the traders a notice to come out of the Terrazzo and go back to the city market stands.
Ms. Mwamba has disclosed that some traders were given marketing stands where to trade from in the city market, but traders have chosen not to go back.
To say that they would want to remain there, I think it would be difficult for the local authority to operate in such an arena because, when they're operating from the Terrazzo, they're operating from a place that is not designated for trading, meaning they are also generating waste. So waste is also piling up at the Terrazzo. So we would not encourage them to continue. The enforcement notice was given and we are on the ground to ensure that they go back to city market because we have some spaces left for traders to occupy. It's important that traders operate from designated places. It is actually easier for the local authority to collect waste when traders operate from designated places.
Mapenda Daliso reporting for Movie TV News in Lusaka.
right, I've actually heard that business goes down when these traders go to the designated places of trading, and as such they would resort to the illegal places of trading. Let's get to react to this story. Himba.
Thank you, Chaza. I've got a different. Okay, let me say, in my opinion, I would say first, thank God there was an eviction note that was given to the traders. But I think one thing as local authorities need to do is also to do a lot of sensitization before they make such a move. I think there's also lack of understanding from the other side of the traders. Looking where we've come from a situation uko alifia chipante wala imalelo ayavika paka booth ya balance wala but you are talking to Himba who doesn't understand that apa ni pamsevo, this place is reserved for something. You are talking to a person like me. Elo nishine pala mwambika pa post office opo na ivika nemwine ila balanza. As a trader, I'm not going to understand inga mwanjebat. Mwalaisa fye mumfumie. Meanwhile, even elo mle mfumia paria, there are a number of things which the local authority have looked at. As the PR has already alluded, she talked about cleanliness. At Palavefiko paria, I'm sure Pakwikala, it's just temporary, it's not long-term staying. So parapene, maybe even the toilets, for them to reach. And vegetables, a lot of activities are happening. So if you so if you don't sensitize me as a lay trader, I'll not understand. So as I'm saying, ninchka pa post office padia, pama robots. I will not understand that I'm actually putting my life at risk there. It's not a trading place. It's so the local authorities, before they embark on these activities of taking the traders to the right places, let them do the sensitization so that they move together with these traders. Secondly, they should also, because when the customers are going to buy, they just buy in the streets. You know what I mean? So which means those who are inside the market, they don't have the customers. So if they are going to remove everyone in the street and take them to the market, which means the customers will be forced to go to the markets to get whatever they want, because they can't get it easily. Because even honestly, even me naikila pali matawa padia. Do you think nalaya nkonke city market kudia? Meanwhile padia pali savi, pali impwa, there's everything. I'll just buy there, which disadvantages the other team. So me, I think I would suggest that let everyone go there. Let them be given one street where they're going to sell. I'm sure there's a street. I was told, okay, I'm not sure about that. That is a rumor. Let me not talk about it. Let them select a street where they'll all be there. They'll be selling. The customers, they'll be first to follow them. I think somehow they also have, they've got a genuine reason, They've got a genuine reason. And all I'm saying, let the local authorities catch these people by sensitizing them. They agree, then they move them together to the right places. I submit, Chaza.
Right, thank you so much. You are speaking like a technical person who would know how to do town planning and town businesses, trading, and so on and so forth. I speak appointment. All right, CJ, let's get to have your reaction.
I receive
it. For me, I would say Himba is looking for trouble. Baba chose bantu mu my street. That is commotion. But anyway,
but
that's the direction.
She said that probably they would have a designated place, maybe a street, from this end to the other end. They are just, street vendors there. So on the other hand, I think majorly she's actually with them.
Okay. She she's very, very right. And personally, I think in the future, that's the direction that we'll be taking. You saw the way the mobile money operators were moved, okay? And for me, I would assume the next step will be moving the vendors. So the vendors, they should get ready for such kind of a thing. But on the current story that we are looking at involving City Market, I like the fact that they worked on the market, the spaces are available, and they carried out a process of making the shop owners go back to those places and relocate them. It's different from the way they did with the mobile booth operators. A lot of them complained because for them, let me say, there was no proper designated place that was assigned for them to continue trading. They just removed those booths. So actually, they remained in those same places, just that they don't have those booths. They're still operating, as we have seen. So life continues. Yeah. But for City Market in particular, the spaces, from the way the PR officer says, there are even spaces that are remaining mukati moja. Just that, you know, kulikaja saying, ukajala kusta vintu vili wrong. Vyambonkala right kuliwe. You know, when you do something wrong for a long time, it now becomes the right thing to you. And people don't want to move to the correct places because they are used to those same spaces, and those spaces are the shape of Pinama bus. So it's easy for people to get to them. So wakaganza toti bulele mkati muja business is hasta bwanji is avuta. That's the resistance that they are facing. But all in all, yes, but all in all, the council is right. So they really need to go in, help these people understand, and put in place a mechanism, like Kimba said, whereby even when they go inside, they'll still the business that they were getting when they were dealing from Penewakamba, the Tarazo, or whatever. It was a good thing that council allowed them to trade there, looking at that disaster that happened. But they should also understand to say, since Watukonzera Manje, let us go back, and maybe what they can lobby from the council is to the council to ensure that Paja Kuriba Minaza Salapo, so that everyone goes inside to do business, so that they can also have equal share of the traffic that is flowing into the market. That's my submission. Thank you.
Now, Chaza, just to add on, Pali Yamin story about marketeers. The local authorities, as they are saying, Baba Bweza, Ikeko Nanzer Kukiri na town, the city is dirty. It's pathetic. So what they should do, my local authorities as well, they shouldn't even as I'm talking about sensitization, let them communicate to these traders. Paja pe muguli sila paja, tikapezapo dot, will chase you and will grab that place from you. Let the citizen work with the local authorities. Because when mwamene mujolo bamulilira, bama muzinga zina matoilets pamene paja. Uzapeza chikopo cha sheki pamene paja, mulima parcels mukati, that kind of thing. So can the local authorities also look into that to make sure that those places, they take care of those places. They are able to maintain and they are looking clean. Because Charles, I rest my case.
All right, Timba, thank you so much. We do appreciate. Let's progress to the next story and see what we have.
As the power utility company ZESCO commences the rotational power supply rationing, the Kuba Belt Energy Corporation (CEC) has stepped in to save the mines from power outages. The company which supplies power to the mines is working on a 34-megawatt solar power plant in Kitwe.
The Riverside Solar Expansion project that we are currently implementing. I started with an initial project which was taken as a pilot basis, where we developed a 1 megawatt solar plant at Riverside Solar Park, which is adjacent to the Copperbelt University in Riverside here in Kitwe.
The project, which stands at 80% completion, is progressing well.
Having achieved our maiden objective, the company now was ready to go full out in terms of investing into this renewable facility.
In addition to the power generation, the project, which is being carried out by Sino Hydro, has created over 360 jobs for the local people.
As you can see in the background, we have a construction work going on. The main activity here is the construction of the mounting structures, and thereafter we install the panels. There's also cabling work, the cables that are connected to the panels and to the other equipment such as the transformer station. So far, the progress completion is sitting at 80%, and we expect to complete the outstanding 20% within Q1 to achieve commissioning.
Liz Ngobeka reporting for Zani.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to
Sincere apologies there. We went blank, and looking at time, we have to come to the conclusion of the program. I wish we could go on and probably look at one story or two, but time is not our best ally. So I'd like to invite the two panelists tonight just to say something to the viewer out there as we get to close the program. Himba.
Thank you so much, Chaza. Balanda tubushku file nsofu neli ashiri bakoli nsofu. For now, insofu ifile kumwesu ni road shedding. So mwe bantu ili ashiri road shedding taliweme. I appeal to our leaders that they are going to look into this matter. A lot of Zambian people are affected, and it could also affect our economical development. Please look into the pride of the young business person there, and especially Aba Maloney. I appeal that see to read how you can help them to pay these loans. Aba Sendama CDF, see to read how you're going to help them, that they are not into trouble over this. And their scores when it comes to credit scores, they are not affected. Please help the young business. Somebody who's starting a new business there, and just find a way of questioning them as our leaders. We believe and we trust that you're looking into this matter, and I'm sure that your ears are not deaf. I rest my case, Chaza.
Thank you so much, CJ. Under 1 minute.
Well, yeah, the load shedding issue is quite a serious one. Everyone is affected. Even right now, I'm very much affected. Yeah,
I can see now how dark you are looking.
Yeah, in them look but MacGyver. So I think let ZESCO plan better, because the events leading to all this are giving us citizens mixed feelings. Okay, because we had heard an announcement earlier that the load shedding problem has been sorted out, and then a month down the line something else comes up. And I think it's about time that we shifted our focus from Kariba, because we know that every year we'll face this situation. I think we, as a country, we need to look at other avenues that will be able to give the nation power, so that when rain season comes, we do not start going through these same issues. Power is needed in every sector. Everyone is affected. So I think let government look at it from a different perspective so that we stop relying on Kariba. On a lighter note, there's someone who even commented and said maybe we should make load shedding an annual ceremony. Maybe it can bring in foreigners, tourists to bring in forex because every year we are having the load shedding. Thank you.
Thank you. This time in Kaliflung Tomboko ceremony.
All right, CJ, Himba, not forgetting Lance, who has been expelled, by connectivity. It's been a great time right here. For me, I would say, no matter how dark your life may appear, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Till then, my name is Chaza. God bless you all.